Thank you, Toastmasters. I'd like to say that I'm really honoured to evaluate Narelle speech, communicating a challenging situation. Now, can I say from the very start, Narelle, you picked a subject that I love. So I could talk about this for about 8 hours because it just resonates with something that I think is really important, and that's communication. And you brought it up really well. I missed the starting bit because I was mucking around with the laptop. But I understand it was about your other club and it was about communication. And that's where I'll start to pick up where you were going. But your clear voice, your hand movements were great. And then I started to pick up the conversation of where you were going with the topic. And when I started getting to the topic, I find it very hard to evaluate because I'm interested in the topic. So I thought you did really well, although you touched on some areas that I thought were really important, which could have really engaged people like myself who were interested in certain key points that you made. And as you work through, you got to, you talk about social media, Facebook trends and social media, which is a huge issue, massive. And you've got to work out how you go about it, but you just raised it and you talked a little bit about it. And then you came up with 3 steps, which you talked about first, second, third steps, which I thought was great. But you could identify a little bit more about those steps, identifying the problem, what was it in, and I thought that was a great area because what I'm trying to say to you is I was thinking about if you're trying to engage an audience, you've got to capture what they're talking about. I think you did that really well, but I was thinking that the audience, about communication, people, because you made a point really good that people like to be in control. And once you identify that people aren't in control, that's when they're interested in saying, how do I get in control? So you had a real good opportunity to sort of say, okay, let's look at some of those things. You moved through really quickly, which I thought was great. And then you talked about the concept of social media, which I thought brought up things about language, because language, the sort of language that social media use, government departments use, opened up another great thing. So I thought it was great. Then you talked about a communication plan with questions, and I thought that was great. Then you started to go into giving some advice back of how to get out. And then I was thinking of the KISS model, keep it simple and stupid, which is great, because if you keep it simple, the audience will get engaged. So I was really interested in the topic. I thought you did a really good job, but I wanted to hear more, and there wasn't enough time. I got really into it. Then we started talking about governance and creating. I just thought, wow, I wish I was doing this speech. Anyway, I love the speech. I love what you did, but I just thought maybe some key points and digging a little bit deeper if you have the time, you could make a really great speech, but I was really interested. So thanks very much.